From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Happy Friday afternoon to you, everyone. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get you right to it. Take a look at Crescent City, and been looking at the wet conditions out there. Although the heavier rainfall actually, believe it or not, has been south of Del Norte County. Most of it's been in Humboldt County, but of course that may change here as we go into the weekend. Look at some of the gusts. I mean, we saw some peak gusts up over 40 miles per hour in Crescent City as that main cold front passed through. Even some gusty winds out towards Eureka. I'm expecting some gusty winds as they kind of pass through, making their way into the valley as well. But overall, probably not as strong as what we saw out there on the coast. Taking a look at Lake Oroville, North Forebay, we still have some clouds out there, and those clouds will definitely be on the increase here as we start to see the chances for showers and even thunderstorms begin to increase here through the afternoon. Also, taking a look at Lassen Park, this is the south entrance here. We got those overcast skies there as well, and that'll probably be the case here throughout the day, despite the fact that it's going to take longer for that rain and snow to get to the eastern mountains. Showers and thunderstorms arrive today. We've already seen some lightning strikes, especially off the coast. We could be looking at some thunderstorms here for the coast, the mountains, and not to mention in the valley. We'll take a closer look at where the best potential will be here over the next few days. Snow levels, that is, starting between 5,000 and 6,000 feet, eventually dropping down to as low as 3,000 feet. Now, before you get excited at 3,000 foot level, keep in mind that's most likely going to be a mix. Even at 3,500 feet, you're going to be looking at more of a mix. And then as you start going above 3,500 feet, closer to 4,000 feet, now you're looking at better potential for at least some accumulating snow. Lighter there, of course, you head higher in elevation, you start seeing more and more snow. Cool and unsettled pattern will continue through next week, but I am seeing some indication of better chances for drier weather for the parts of the first part of next week, which again, we'll take a closer look at that here in a second as well. That's the storm system. It's going to be barreling on through. This is the cold front that's associated with it. That is what's going to be and has been moving through this morning, the north coast here. As it moves to the east, this is what's going to bring us the showers and thunderstorms, but it's also going to give us those gusty winds along that cold front. So again, the winds were strongest as it was moving through the coast, and as it moves through the valley, those winds will pick up, and then behind that cold front, the winds still a bit breezy, but they do begin to relax. It's the strongest winds typically along the cold front. Now tomorrow, behind the cold front, it's cold and unstable. So that is going to mean a chance for showers and more thunderstorms here throughout the day on Saturday. Looking at the severe outlook, basically the areas of green indicate where you have the most amount of instability and the best chances for showers and thunderstorms here. Nothing severe is expected here for both today or tomorrow, but you can see the majority of Northern California is looking at that chance for those thunderstorms. So let's walk you through the timing on Futurecast here, and there you can see, of course, the chance for thunderstorms in the valley, even westward into Trinity County, but already by 2 o'clock this afternoon, we're on the back edge of that storm, and things are starting to quiet down a bit here for the coast. Not a lot of activity yet for the eastern mountains, but that changes as we go into the mid to late afternoon hours today. And we're also beginning to see a bit of a break here for the valley, although we can still see a few showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms, even at 5 o'clock this evening for parts of the valley. But most of the activity will be to the north, and not to mention off into the eastern mountains as well. And by the way, snow level is still high, between 5,000 and 6,000 feet. We take you to about 10 o'clock tonight, and we're seeing the cold front kind of pass off to the east. So things are quieting down for the most part in the eastern mountains, but now we've got the next disturbance coming right on in. And this is going to be the trend throughout at least Saturday, even into parts of Sunday. As we see a bit of a break, and then we see chances for showers and thunderstorms here. So now the cold and unstable air is moving in late tonight and tomorrow morning. This is when snow levels eventually drop down between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. This is also when I'm a little concerned about some travel over some of the higher mountain passes and even parts of I-5. Now, the thing is, I think Caltrans should be able to stay on top of any snow that we do see accumulate on I-5 around Mount Shasta City. So just keep in mind that you may run into a little bit of snow out towards that part of I-5. You can even see a little bit of a mix here down towards Dunsmuir, as a matter of fact. Meanwhile, we take you out to Buckhorn Summit. Yeah, Buckhorn Summit could be looking at the potential for some snow as well. So bottom line, if you have to travel early tomorrow morning, take note that you may need chains. Now, on top of that, not just the snow that we're talking about, but we're also talking about, the potential for thunderstorms in the valley, and it looks like an even better chance. Looks like some more instability here out along the coast. Snow levels still 3,000 to 4,000 feet. This could be impacting I-5 near Mount Shasta City, and not to mention Buckhorn Summit. Now, as we go through the day on Saturday, what's going to happen is I think it'll be more in the way of a mix and rain out towards Mount Shasta City. I don't think we're going to see a ton of snow, say on Buckhorn Summit on Highway 299. But again, through the day, if you're traveling at all in the mountains, keep a close eye on those road conditions here. So just be sure to check on that. Now, we can see, of course, the continued chance for showers and thunderstorms here for the valley, even in the late afternoon and early evening hours. And not to mention, even Saturday night, we're seeing that potential for those thunderstorms. And look at all of that snow off in the eastern mountains. That is most definitely going to be impacting your mountain travel. But again, more activity, more scattered showers, more thunderstorms here, even for the coast. Now look at Sunday morning. I mean, we're keeping it going. You've got some showers, you've got some snow in the mountains, still between 3,000 and 4,000 feet. You've got showers and thunderstorms here for Del Norte and Humboldt counties possibly. And it looks like we're not out of the woods yet with the potential for thunderstorms, because you can see here by noon, not a lot of activity, but we may see a few pop-ups in the valley here in the mid-afternoon hours. Can't rule out a stray shower, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm Sunday afternoon, and then I think most of it's gone by Sunday evening, Sunday night, and we could get a bit of a break here as we go into Monday. This is looking at the storm's strength, the potential for the most amount of instability. When you get in the blues and greens, that's indicating low amounts of instability, but enough where we can see those thunderstorms. So the strength of the thunderstorms aren't typically very strong when we're in this blue and greenish color here, okay? So that's what we're looking at here. We're getting a little bit in that green color here for this afternoon for parts of the valley. That then starts to die down, but then as we go into Saturday, we're seeing a little bit more in the way of that green. So I do expect to possibly see some slightly stronger thunderstorms for the valley in particular as we go into Saturday afternoon. Now check this out. Remember, as we take a look at Sunday, there is going to be some blue in there. Now, it's kind of in the darker shades of blue that we're seeing here, so it's going to be smaller strength as far as the potential for thunderstorms developing on Sunday, but I do still think there's going to be that potential Sunday afternoon, especially in the mid-afternoon hours, and then by Sunday night, it's all gone. So when we look at the severe outlook by the Storm Prediction Center on Sunday, quite honestly, I'm a little surprised that they haven't put anything in here for Northern California. We shall see. Maybe the next run of this forecast model, they may include that. We'll see. But, the thing is, I can't rule out completely that chance for thunderstorms here on Sunday. Look at the rainfall totals. Once again, these are estimates, especially if you get caught under a thunderstorm, you could see more than what you're seeing here. But I think on average, about a half an inch to even quite possibly upwards of an inch for parts of the valley, depending on how many thunderstorms we see and who sees those thunderstorms. And as usual, most of that rain should be along the coast, especially off into Del Norte County. Now, snow totals, again, I have a hard time with these sometimes because, especially if you're going to be in that rain-snow mix category, the model can't quite pick up on that. So 8 to 12 inches, I just don't think that's going to happen for Mount Shasta City. Could you see a couple of inches? Sure. But I think you're going to be right there at that borderline of where the rain-snow mix is and where you're looking at all snow. So what that means is, for today, I think we could even see a rain-snow mix out at the ski park. Maybe a little slushy, a little bit of a mess. But as we go into tomorrow, those snow levels drop down to 3,000 to 4,000 feet, and it's going to be all snow at the ski park, but not necessarily Mount Shasta City or Dunsmuir for that matter. This might be overdoing it for Dunsmuir, by the way. And I don't anticipate even a mix for Weaverville or Hayfork or Etna or even Wairika. It'll all be in the form of most likely rain. That's why I've got 0 there. That's what that lighter shade of blue there is, that Mike's take, my take on how much snow we could see. Now, could we see 1 to 2 inches in Altura? Sure. How about Bernie? Yeah, close. Again, we're in that borderline where that rain-snow mix will be. I think better chances for seeing some measurable snowfall out towards Chester. And by the way, Viola, I think you could see about the same as you head northeast of Shingletown. All right, let's take a look at the forecast road conditions with that snow. Of course, not a lot of snow today, so I don't anticipate at least snow to be a travel concern, but just wet roads as we go into this afternoon and evening. But check this out, as we go into tonight and tomorrow morning, now we're starting to see more of that snow making its way towards I-5, Highway 89 and Snowman Summit. Here's a look at Buckhorn Summit. There you can see we are seeing maybe the potential for some snow there, but really I think Highway 299 for the most part is mainly just going to be looking at wet roads. But east of I-5, yes, that's where we're starting to see some of those bigger problems because we've got the higher mountain passes there. We take a look at the storm impacts for tomorrow. Again, you see where I-5 is right here. We're in that limited. So again, I think we're going to possibly see some light accumulations on the highway there at times on Saturday, especially in the morning. But it probably won't be a major impact or even a minor impact. And you'll notice here, as we're getting very close to Buckhorn Summit, there's a potential for at least that limited impact there. Where we're seeing most of that impact, right, is towards the Southern Cascades and Northern Sierra. Again, that's typical. That's normal for us to see that. Then as we go into Sunday, yes, conditions will improve, and we'll be looking at those limited storm impacts across the way here. All right, let's take a look at Futurecast here, long range now. And there you can see, as we go into Monday afternoon, I still think there's a potential for mountains and even the coast seeing some light activity, but the valley will most likely stay dry on Monday. I think across the board, Tuesday is our best chance to see dry conditions for everyone. But then, kind of looking out over the Pacific, we've got a series of storms heading our way. I think, based on the latest forecast model data, we could see some heavier rainfall again come Wednesday. Snow probably around 3,000 to 4,000 feet at that point. We go into Thursday. We go into Friday. You see this storm system coming in, looks fairly impressive. Even into not this Saturday, but a week from Saturday, potential for some showers, but maybe Easter Sunday at this point. Long-range forecast models, fingers crossed, are keeping us dry for those Easter egg hunts. That's what it looks like for now. Not guaranteed, but you know, something to start thinking about as we start making plans for Easter Sunday. There you can see the rainfall outlook. This is the overall footprint of where I think we're going to see the most amount of rainfall and, of course, the least amount of rainfall, right? Mainly out towards Del Norte County, Humboldt County, not to mention in the mountains surrounding the valley, with smaller amounts heading off to the north and to the east. I don't anticipate any flooding at this point, but as we start getting more of these storms pushing through and the ground gets more and more saturated, then we'll have to kind of reevaluate the situation. But as of right now, I'm not too terribly concerned about flooding, and I'm not terribly concerned about mudslides or debris flows. But again, that may change as we get closer to next week. There you can see the chance for showers and thunderstorms here for today. Otherwise, looking at cooler temperatures than we have seen over the last several days for all of Northern California. Here is your neighborhood 7-day outlooks. We're going to start with the valley. And of course, you've got those showers and thunderstorms today, tomorrow, and I think there's going to be some breaks in the clouds there, so it's not going to be completely overcast, but it's going to look like that if you've got a thunderstorm over your head, that's for sure. Then on Sunday, yeah, chance for showers, especially for the first half of the day. Can't rule out an isolated thunderstorm. I don't have it in there, but keep in mind, we may be even talking about thunderstorms on Sunday. Then Monday, Tuesday, it's dry. You've got showers in there. Again, heavier rainfall coming in by Wednesday. There's your North Coast neighborhood forecast, which is basically the coast and inland, showers and thunderstorms. Trinity County neighborhood forecast, also those showers and thunderstorms today and tomorrow, and then off and on all the way through, most likely through next week. The best chance for dry conditions for everyone, as I mentioned, will be Tuesday. There's your Siskiyou County, Modoc County, and Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast there. We are, of course, looking at temperatures dropping, especially for your Saturday, and it looks like, again, those dry conditions by next Tuesday.